research. So there is an emerging trend of a lot of invalidations on the basis of non-English prior art these days. And what I'm going to do is quickly tell you why we are interested in non-English prior art search to avoid these kind of litigations, or save time for the examiners and even the applicants. So I'm going to tell you why non-English prior art search is important, what are the current challenges in retrieving the non-English prior art, what are the effective ways to retrieve non-English prior art, and challenges in the future. So we all know that innovations can happen in any part of the world. That is one reason. And second reason is, recent news is actually pointing out to the fact that China leads in the patent application growth. Further, recent WIPO statistics demonstrates that Iran is the fastest growing in the field of patent application filings, followed by China, Vietnam, Philippines, Indonesia, and Thailand. So this is the statistics that WIPO had shown. So you can see that China is showing 12.5% increase in the rate in 2014 as compared to 2013, and Iran is actually showing 18.5%. Similarly, it's also some selected developing countries like Vietnam and Philippines are also showing remarkable increase in the rate of filings. Further, you can see that among the top 5 patent offices, Japan, China, and Korea are few of them, and they are also showing striking increase in the last decade. And actually, out of the top 20 patent registries, 15 of them are allowing non-English filings. So this is one more evidence that, emerging evidence that it is important to search for non-English. You can see all this, even Canada, Mexico, Brazil, and China, Iran are all among the top 20. And recent patent landscapes are also shifting towards, non-English profiles. For example, even our own patent landscapes that we had done index patent. For example, self-driving cars show that China is a leader, followed by Korea, Japan, Sweden, and similarly other non-English countries. Similarly, other landscapes like microalgae show that there are Portuguese, Spanish filings also. So WIPO also accepts patent filings in 10 languages. This is another evidence which shows that non-English is important. So these are the top 10 languages of 2014. Basically, Japanese to Persian, everything is there. So obviously the non-English load is increasing. So are we adapting to the change? We must actually. So what are the current challenges in searching non-English patents? Basically, different databases have different coverage, and this will be dealt by Madhav in this session. And searchable English full text is not available for many patents. Non-English querying is not possible in all databases. These are the problems. So actually you can visualize the problem like this. Through an English query, retrieve an English prior art is not difficult. But to give an English query and retrieve a non-English prior art, or giving a non-English query itself is a problem. So how do we solve that? So if there is a non-English, if we give an English query, if the potential non-English hit has an English family, then search will easily retrieve the non-English document. At least if machine translated full text is available and if it is searchable, importantly, then we can retrieve the non-English document. But if none of them is there, then we would definitely miss the potential prior art. This is definitely not desirable. So how to resolve this? That's when cross-lingual query comes. We input the query in one language and you can search across in different languages to retrieve the potential prior art. And some of the databases which provides this are some free databases and some fee-based databases, which will be in detail dealt more by the other speakers in this session. And essentially, all these solutions discussed so far are largely dependent on machine translations. For example, there is a joke which says, you give a sentence like this: the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Into a machine translator, it is translated like this: the vodka is great, but the meat is lousy. So it's just not just a joke. we have seen real-time examples like this. A space in a table is translated as sky in a table, and two motor in phase can be translated as motor with two phase. In such situations, actually, it can be ambiguous, and we need to take care of such things. So translations are really challenging to comprehend. I mean, as I said previously, the example, you read the sentence, entity identification information as a tentative reservation of a specific frame with reference to sky. I mean, absolutely, it's not, we cannot comprehend this. So we have to refer to multiple translations, and translation issues will be talked by Rahul in this session. So we can also go for professional translations, and sometimes to circumvent this machine translation issues, we can actually bypass or minimize the keyword usage. For this, what we can do is classification search. We have many times found that combining very minimal keywords with class actually gives bullseye hit. And sometimes, using creative spellings can help, because, K for capacity, we found some Czechoslovakia patent and all like that. And semantic searches can many times retrieve potential non-English prior art. Sometimes newspaper search for those countries whose databases are not effective for search, who do not have full text coverage, can help in this. And this is all about NPL, only patent search. Now, about non-English NPL search, Google Scholar allows cross-lingual query. And there is also an open access portal for Portuguese and Spanish non-patent literatures available. And there are also dissertation searches available, like ProQuest dissertations, which also provide multilingual interfaces. This is actually interesting in light of a recent invalidation case where Zond Incorporated's patent was invalidated on grounds of a Russian dissertation. So this is interesting. So we have to search for so many portals. So how do we actually manage the time? So smart searching is required. So sometimes we can actually choose certain countries of importance based on technology, or at least not miss certain countries. For example, if it's a technology and audiovisual technology, we should not miss searching in Japan. If it's in metallurgy, we should not miss searching in Gulf countries. So other non-English portals not to be ignored is CNKI, which is China National Knowledge Information, which Eastview publication has shared with EPO examiners. So these are some portals which have to be, not ignored. And what are the challenges ahead? So we still do not have a facility to search for white papers or videos in non-English. And dissertation searches in non-English is still poor. And patent databases of some countries like Indonesia and Saudi Arabia do not have effective tools for search, given that they are also very active in patent filings today. And I would like to end the talk with few tips, which is, there will be in another decade multilingual concept search, a full-fledged multilingual concept search. For example, recently WIPO has started an initiative called WIPO Pearl on it. It is in a primitive stage now, and an integrated NPL and patent search would actually help. We all spend so much of time in patent search. If that same effort can be managed in fetching more non-English NPL also, it would be useful. Similarly, a cross-lingual query of any language mapped with any other language would be possible in another 10 years, I guess. So patent searching community like us look forward for such changes in future. Thank you.